So the YouTube section now actually gets this in it for absolutely no reason. You're getting a random intro in the VOD because I've decided it's necessary. And now I probably should have and switch over the scene. So I'll see you in a hot second. Desperately love to gain all this time on anyone ahead. Get a couple quick 10 seconds. That's descend! What was that from JB? That was a very, very odd move and the break-in. Makes him think about it is enough to make him get some space, and that's an error around the corner as well. Has a slide, and that might be enough to open the door, and I think Ethan has done that sweetly. That is honestly a nice, nice move. This is absolute pandemonium for this race. Chaotic, everyone's dropping everywhere. This corner's amazing for letting people go for it. I think I've just seen is that... As Ryan is looking at the inside to send it at turn 3. He's almost going to collect the AlphaTauri. He is going to collect the AlphaTauri. This is going to be a bit mental. Into this. Oh my sweet Jesus, we've just seen. I may be keeping an eye on the weather, but is this a routine stop? GB Sanderson. We're going all of them. Am I sniffing through wide? Who's for a brief second was in the lead as well. Josh does go ahead and cross the line to take the win. And oh my! And this is the thing I actually want to mainly keep an eye on, as Brian and Josh have made contact before we're finishing settings. Coming across the line we go. Squeezes them all the way to the line. F1 Kid has won. Sasso's not going to try and go down the inside. And we're going to have a little free, full wide moment again in NSL lead. Over the line we go. And the smallest gap we've probably seen in NSL history has given Josh the win in Brazil by 1600. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome back, everyone. That was the weirdest waffle I've ever started a stream with, but it's NSL time. It's the big action. It's the time when I actually technically am moderately slightly serious, because for some reason we take this part seriously. Welcome in. If people aren't knowledgeable about this is our F1 Community League. We have a good time. Everyone can join in. We all race, and I waffle on the comms and try and take it moderately seriously, you know. The game's the game. If you want some introductions, round 1's today is at Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Let me talk you around the track so you can have a little look around it. Jeddah Corniche Circuit, you've seen it before in F1 races in real life. It's the same one. The tyres are fairly soft. 25 laps of some form of action. There's big DRS zones. There's big times for someone to probably have a moment and crash. I've got no clue. We'll figure that out. We'll find out later on. But some more info for you, just in case, again, you are fresh in here, you want to see some rules. Pretty certain this one's still working. have them on the screen. It's easy. 12 rounds, which I'll show you the calendar in a little bit. 8 of them are normal short qualifying, and then it's a 50% race. 4 of them are sprints, reverse championship sprints, which we'll get to later. So essentially, if you're the first in championship, you start at the back. Simple as. Points are the same as normal. The sprint points are on the screen there. The rules and everything else are pretty much standard. You see them all the time. I think I can abruptly stop the music because it's funny when I do that. I'll give you the rest of the additional info later. It's time to switch to this screen so I can talk to you with a banner that says, you know, this. I like Nange Sports. How are we? How are we, folks? You've not seen me for a hot second if it's NSL themed. If you was in the Twitch stream before, you literally, you know, you just saw me, like, for 30 minutes before that. But if you forget that, you haven't seen me. This is smart. This is smart. Hi, chat. Can I have thoughts? Did you enjoy the intro? Did you enjoy the stuff? The glass coaster? I need a better way of bringing that back. I really wanted to enjoy the Nange Q and Nange Glass customers, but Sky would probably shout at me somehow. So I didn't do it again. One day I might bring it back. One day. Wasn't here about 30 minutes. Damn. It was terrible. Oh, minus 100 out of 10. Wow. I think I missed under a blindfold on playing. Thank God that I ain't getting into an intro. That'd be scary. For someone who, by the way, I saw someone ask about the Vegas clip. I simply don't, for some reason, have a proper Vegas clip from my POV. I have it from everyone else's, but they weren't. I promise you, I had to skip so much. It was bad. It was bad. I really didn't want to skip as much as I did, but there was a lot that couldn't go in. Vegas was one because I couldn't get a proper clip. The rest just couldn't go in. The Relux couldn't find a way in. I felt bad. Round relocked on a regular basis, and I couldn't find a way to, an interesting enough clip with me doing it to put it. So maybe we get a mid-season refresh. Someone suggested it, and I low-key would be down, purely because it means I get to choose some do one. So maybe. I do love working on a cinematic shit for a long time, and then it was cool. This is why I didn't want to show it last week, because I was like, I wanted it to be shown the proper time when we did it. It's cool. Regardless of anyone thinks it's cool or not, I liked putting time into it, so. Anyways, so we invited people in. Honestly, I've been waiting to shut up for weeks. And then I redid it all the last day before. It threw many things off. The game's the game. I can actually ping the stuff in the Discord because I couldn't, because the Discord shows up below the screen where the intro is, so you would have just seen me ping it. Right, we have some people to check in. How many people we have to check in is a question. Are we up to, is it 12, 13? It's 12, I think. 12, okay. Who have you already got in? F1 Kid's already in, boom. Josh is already in. Lewis needs an invite in the Xbox, let's go. How does he already need an invite in the Xbox, is the question. Well, he'd already be in, cool. Dylan is just got back, the timing on that. Happy birthday again, by the way, Dylan. Sorry if you didn't want me to say it out loud in the stream, but should have said. Hope you've had a good day so far. Vibes. It will spam you anything. Light mode and Xbox. Yes. Okay, I like light mode if it's off-white like that, it's cool. If it's bright white, it's disgusting. Off-white, not light mode is fine. Shush, okay, shush. Good, nice. It's allowed, okay, it's allowed. If it's done properly and not like Discord, I'm completely okay with it. I hate this system. Why is it not put, why is everyone offline apparently? Everyone on PC is now permanently offline. Okay, anyways. Mr. Spuds is also on PC, please be online. Please. God. Let's go. Kieran's already in, I think. Blessed. Ron is in. Devil Snow is not in. Do I have you added yet? Is a question. Please don't I have you added. Have you added me on thingy if you haven't? Spam me one quick. Let me add these two. That is Rowlet, who I believe will be racing his account. Jacob is already on the thing as well, so I can ping him a quick one. Nice. Then Raul, GB, and Mimpop. Good. I think GB should all be able to get himself, so we need a couple more. Discord light mode is disgusting. I am well aware. I dislike it. It's awful. Please. I wouldn't mind using it as well if it looked different. It just doesn't look different, so I'm not using it. Okay. What's supposed to be exclamation mark GT? Is it in there? Do exclamation mark GT in the chat. It should ping through. And then type that in. It's fine. Light mode should not be available ever. Light mode's good on some apps. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry, you've got time. I can wait a tiny bit if there's another couple minutes I have to go for. How many have we got in the lobby so far? We're up to 7, so we're only missing 5. 4! Ping Mock's already in. Good. Nice. And Toastmaster's had the ping. I can get him in. Beautiful, beautiful. Dylan's lying, by the way, I just don't want to talk to you. I'm kidding, it's free. That was no need for that. That's cap, that's cap. So he might consider talking to you. He doesn't want to talk to Josh and give away his strats, you know. Alright, Toast knows. No, that's not how you invite people. You can't invite people on the friend screen. You have to go to this specific screen to do it. Because it hates me. It's very rude. Boom, let's go, let's go. Okay, now, the rest should be able to join in around time because they're mainly on Xbox, so we're good. Day Dylan Jones VC is going to be an exciting day. You're gonna take some slack from people. Listen, just be ready, man. Yes, I have it on. To be fair, I can't say anything. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll just shut up. Actually, the game's a game. The game's a game. So can I just talk you through some other stuff on the screen while I wait? Can I do that? Let me. Right, chat. I need to show you some things. That was too epic. Let's try that again. I need to show you some things. I need to show you the calendar that we've got cooking for this season. Because I feel like it'd be a nice thing to show off for the people. This is what we got rocking for 12 rounds, this one. We've got Saudi Arabia to start, Jeddah. We've got Japan, China, Portugal, Britain, and Austria. Left to right, top row to bottom row for everyone trying to read it at home, just in case there's a tiny bit of confusion. I get it, sometimes there actually is, so that is it. And obviously on the second half of the season, a little weak gap in between, represented by, for some reason, some random dead space in between the two halves of the graphics. I just thought it looked cool. It's staying there. Anyways, then we go into the second half. Monaco returns to NSL. No one wanted it to come back at all. No one except me. But unfortunately, I make the league, and it's not a democracy in my league. It's a dictatorship. I just happen to be nice to you guys. So Monaco is returned. Monza's in there as well for Italy. Then we got Spa. Canada, which is back, which is nice to see it again. I enjoyed it. We had pretty much all the races last season because it was a very long one. Brazil and Vegas, which is on a contract of as long as it keeps delivering an entertaining race, it gets to stay. Every time we've had Las Vegas in, it's done well and given us some good content. It keeps staying. The day it stops, it might consider to be gone, but people might like it at that point, so I don't know. The sprints in this round went away to Con now because I haven't put them on the graphic. I've only just realised that. Probably should. Probably look cleaner without it. China was the first sprint at round 3, then Austria, then Belgium, then Las Vegas. It's nice. It's nice. So there's not as many sprints, which is sad. Which, you know, I kind of missed a sprint or two. I don't know why that needed an entire change for all of that, but it's fine. Shall I show you the standings from last season? That's what I want to show you. Don't know why. This is what we wrapped out on last time out in the constructors first and foremost. AlphaTauri decided to absolutely cook. 659 points. They did bits. This season, they ain't called that. They're called RB, VCAR, Visa, Cash App, Red Bull, whatever you're going to name them, but it's not the same name, but I'm keeping them Elvis here as the same. Then we had Ferrari languishing quite a way back, 382. 318 for Aston Martins, 247 for the Williams, and then a little bit after that is the Red Bulls, the McLarens, the Mercedes, now being the Haas and the figure. There was a lot of mix-up. A lot of different wins happened from certain people. As you can see, the point stretch down quite far. Switches up midway through between the teams. Things happened. Driver changes have happened, which I'll go through probably in the qualifying session because that's prime waffle. But you get the gist. And then the drivers, which is obviously looking a little cooked and different. This is what it ended up at the end last season. With Yuki Tsunoda, which is definitely Josh. That's what he looks like. Don't worry about it. It's the same person. It's absolutely fine. But this is what the drives ended up with. Josh on the top of the boards. I'm sorry, I can't go with the fact that Yuki Tsunoda's on the screen. This is ad hoc. But he's there. He's there. Don't worry about it. They took part in NSL. They took part. We love our vibes, just throwing in random sort of stuff. But anyways, Josh did win NSL last season. 454 points. F1 Kid was in second position, which is absolutely fine, and Ethan in P3. And then after that, it's the rest of the people. For some reason, I decided to change the team graphic here for Raul. I don't know why. Could have really changed that, but, you know, it's fine. Sasso was in 5th. GB, Hooch, Dylan dropping in late in the season, grabbing up some big points, sneaking into the top 10, Harry in 9th, Lewis in 10th. That's the game, folks. That's the gamble, that's the thing. I don't think there's any other piece of information I can give you that's worth a damn. At this point, all we need to be doing is kicking off and going on to some big action. So let's get back in the lobby. Let's make sure everyone's actually properly in. There is more cool graphics to come at some point. I just don't have them ready yet because they need results to happen, or else they literally make no sense. I can't have a comparison between drivers, for example, without them doing something. That will come soon. I got big plans. I got big plans. Spuds gets in every invite. I think anyone else we're missing. Who are we missing? There is definitely a name we're missing. That'll make it 12. Who is the remaining Don? I'm actually blind. Who is the remaining? Who is the remaining? I need to find. Who is it? Oh, someone else has now left at the same... Right. Well, someone joined and left. Okay, let me just read it through. F1 Kid is in. Josh is in. Boom. Lewis is in. Lewis is in. Dylan's in. Mr. Spuds has just joined. Good. Kieran is in. Ron is in. Turbo Snell is in. Jacob is in. Boom. Washed Cat. Where are you at, son? I don't know where the washed cat is. GB is in. And Mint Block is in. Why are we missing a washed cat? Why is this allowed? This is rude. If he misses qualifying, the game's a game. I will be sending washed cat a never invitation. We start off at 8. It's 8:02, folks. It's 8:02. He's getting given a chance. He's hopped in. I think we can ping him up with a radio message. I think we can do it. Let's go. Let's go. You're missing a cat. We are. Wasn't. Any yes. I can't word that a different way. We are missing a cat. I love positive dramatic events. The silliest stuff, but the game's the game. If you're not already hearing me in the lobby, the ping's coming through. Time to ready up. Time to ready up. Let's go do our business. What? Yes, it's come through! I've been waiting for this! It's here! It's here! I didn't think it would happen. Voice chat suspended! If you ain't been about for this since day one, then you don't know. Oh, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Right. We've had everything cook up. The lobby's not died, the servers currently work, knock on wood, and suspension of the voice chat's going through to cook. There's nothing more that can happen in this. Let's go do some NSL, man. Let's go do some NSL. Whew. Not too bad. Right. While... No, I'm not going to do it in any cool way. I'm going to pause the music and get up and change my audio. There was going to be a cool way of doing that. But no, I've decided this part is always going to be weird and awkward every single time we do this. Until the new headset arrives. So enjoy this as I get up and move. Because why not? She's too awkward. You can have some NSO music. Alright, after that. Right. Headset assigned. It's the last moment. Dylan has just admitted to drink and driving. Okay. In-game. Clarify before he gets actually in trouble. But we move. Okay. Right. And Nova's had many Oreo ads. That's different. Check for Brizio. Do you know what? You should be checking, chat, actually. Live race updates is not what I expected to get. Voice chat suspended as Bill. That tweet is amazing. That tweet is amazing. You know what? Let me whack that on. Let me whack that on the screen. This is necessary. I need this to be shown to all the people. Where is my other screen for this? As we wait for someone to actually end up on the track, which they're refusing to do for some reason. Let me show you this, and then let me show you something else in a hot second. Why is the monitor decided to switch screens? This, ladies and gents. This is the suspended voice chat moment. Caught by the journalist on the job. I look so happy there. I'd never seen myself so happy on this stream. I am... That's nuts. That's actually nuts. Get me back on escape screen, anyway. I wasn't meant to look that happy during this, but it happens. Right, vehicles are on the track and we're ready to get some racing going. This is very weird to be seeing this now because I've not been seeing, like, any serious action. Dylan's tried to... I've done it so many times in the early game and I've hopped in, like, a longer race. Don't worry. The game's a game. So we... what's going on? Why are we having live... No, that's not allowed. That is not allowed. I'm trying to find this on my stream deck because I realise this is perfect mid-race swaffle. I'd like to inform you that we have a journalist working for us in NSL now, who's picking up the scoops of, like, the action that's happening in the driver's chatter, any news that's coming through. He goes by Fabrizio Dende on Twitter. Now that was just a sneak peek because he just told me about it, but we've got some snippets that I've been running through recently of Fabrizio Dende's antics on Twitter. What he spotted in. We've heard news of the reigning champ disliking the game heavily. This is also the official look of Fabrizio Dende. It's crazy scenes. Don't know why he's wearing a purple suit, but the game's a game. Raul's getting betrayed by his old team. And we've got people playing mind games in the NSL Discord saying that certain calls are easy and certain calls are not. The game's the game. The game's the game, but Fabrizio's been reported on the news, so... I mean, that's what we've got. That's what we've got. We'll keep you informed. I'd recommend following the account on Twitter to make sure you keep the news up, but if you're not there, I will be giving you the highlights every week, if there is some that I can point out to the people. But yeah, in the meantime... we got some news from the people. Josh is happy with it. I've been waiting till you show that for it. Now, you know what? Put that back in the screen. I enjoyed that way too much. I love how that looks. That is just beautiful. Fabrizio Dende in his prime. It's just... I've never been prouder of a set of graphics, and I'm barely even started. Anyways, so we want some cars go around the track and maybe comment on the driving aspects of stuff. Serious Racing, unless your name's Solomon Rondon. He's not changed his name tonight in the game, which I'm upset about. Mainly because he can't. How in the world is that not an invalid lap time? That... Hang on. How? It's on strict! I've just seen... But he was miles away from the track. We're seeing match fixing live at the front. Okay. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Anyways, we'll go on. We'll stay on board loose for this first one, since we've got no times to pick off for. I believe we've got some other cars going around the final sector, which is about to come through first, but it moves, it moves. Someone's already started sector 1, but I think they've just come out on a fresh lap. Listen, Fabrizio just reports on all news. It's speculative, it's positive, it's negative, it doesn't matter. He reports on everything that he sees and hears. His ears are always pointed towards the scoop. 28.5 is the first big time we've got after 232s. Some inters, some dries. A 30.1's popped on the board from Rowlick. I'm going to call him Raul, but I know his name's... I got to call him by gamer tags, as I said, so I'm calling him Wash Cat today. Game's the game. Lewis sets a 32 of his own, and Jacob sets a 33. Dylan sets us 27-7. The starters on the boards into the 27s, and that's by a good distance. Now, I've heard some normal times. I've also heard this latest update yesterday has knocked off a couple tenths of everyone's times, at least initially. So, I don't know if we're just warming up to sometimes, if that was just the easy bankers, if we got more to come. I have absolutely no clue. Ron is currently slow through the middle sector doing a constant speed test at 160 for some reason. Otherwise known as sat burning his engine up in second gear, and I have no understanding why he's doing that. We'll keep an eye on Ron. We'll keep an eye on Ron later on with us for reasons. Not sure why, but for reasons we'll have a little look. You're also not seeing inters are allowed. If you're familiar last season, intermediates were firmly banned because memes. I wasn't interested in them. Mainly it wasn't because of that, it was just because far too many times we got them interrupting other people's times and then it ruined everything, so we didn't do it. Now I'm like, listen, you do it, you get your own harsh penalty, but have some fun if you want. There's no inter-championship like I know Creative Series and stuff does. But if you really want to go and set a time on the board and beat 3 other people with your intermediate time, as F1 Kid has, a fair play, then you can. And the game is the game. Jacob's on another lap. I think he's actually going to finish this one. Looks like he was twitching, but he's a lot slower, so I'm not sure if that was an attempt, but he has no battery. So I believe he was going for it. Someone in his original 33.8, so stays in P8 for the time being. I'd assume there's a lot of time to come from many people. Ron on his... Oh, don't know what this man... I know what he's doing, but like, watching it... It's nuts. As I'm seeing more updates from Fabrizio live on the Flesh. I understand lights on a pin blind. Wait, in your... Are we also a no lights person? I know there's a lot of people who don't like overhead lights. I like bright lights, but a lot of people don't like them. Run out of fuel so easily. Is that a different change? I haven't done enough serious racing, so I could not tell myself. I have no knowledge. I don't know. France Auto winning 1-0. Alright, good. Yay! We're playing France in the next round, because they're definitely making it through. Absolutely. Let's go. GB, do we watch an intermediate lap for vibes? TurboSnail's retired from the session. On track. So I think he's had an error through the first sector. I thought this was just a choice, but no. We might see if it doesn't despawn in time on GB's lap. But for his sake, it probably should despawn in time, and it has. Damn, first error we've seen, first DNF in NSL so far this season. And that is a lockup and a half. That Rowlick would be proud if he saw that one. In qualifying on Inters on the dry track. Not too bad. The first rear lock I've spotted on the track today with my own. No. 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 What I need is for someone to clip that. And don't ask why if you didn't see what I just saw. If you did see what I just saw, clip it and post it in Game Reacts in my main Discord server, !Discord, and then ping Josh to the reply of that tweet. And to reply to the clip, please. He needs to see this. He can't see this currently because he's playing seriously, but inform Josh when he has free time that the game's still broken. That's all you need to say. He'll get the gist later. Oh, God. Josh didn't even do anything, it's just he needs to... I like his reaction when something goes wrong in this game. And something went wrong in the game currently. Something definitely went wrong. Oh, Lord. A lot of time's not going through for now. A lot of people just did their one bank lap and said, we will wait for a hot amount of time. A few Ferraris are now out on the track, back to back, I think, right now. GB with a big slide again. He's already had one in the intro, doesn't need any more, but his intermediate time is going to be the slowest of the bunch. It's a poor effort. We'll see when he does in an actual tyre later on. Ron's still going. I wonder if he's actually put heavy fuel in. He has. He's put race fuel in his car. So he can keep doing it. Gets out of the way of the other cars, which is helpful. Josh is on an improved time of 2.5 tenths since the middle part. Not sure if he's had any improvement since then. Gonna come across the board instead of 28.3. Still shy of a 27 for now. Washcat, I believe, is on an attempt to start his lap. So we'll see what Raul's got in stock. Nice Kirby assist. We'll stay on board with this first sector. We've not seen someone cook. What happened that broke the game? Your car didn't stay planted to the ground. So you know, like Fast and Furious settings where Dom Toretto's car just goes and does a wheelie on the first one? That happened. That's all you need to know. Ah, this first sector does look nice to watch. Not sure it's been the best one. I have absolutely no corner comparisons, but the first sector time is 32.3. Now, I'm not judging if it says green or purple on the track because it said GB's was purple on an Inter with the car air bomb. So I know that's not true. So we'll find that out absolutely later and we'll see what goes down. Let's carry on watching for the middle sector. How much can he attack these corners? How much does a car actually want to listen to what he's asking it to do is an entirely never sentence. And can he get close to his teammate? I mean, we have no clue. They might, but I personally don't really have a clue of who's going to be good. Is Dylan now back in a full season after he came out at the end of the last one? Gonna be on top tier form, back to what he had in Season 9 where he beat Josh and the other people to the title? Is Josh, after fresh coming off a title, now stepped up even more and is going to be there? Is Raul going to suddenly step up and be a title challenger? Is someone completely new doing it? I ain't got the clue. I don't know. I'm unaware of what will be taking place. Raul, though, I will be aware, is just taking the minimum line. I thought you just committed to go into the pits. Okay. That's a 29-1 on the board. A little bit of a gap to his teammate by almost a second. Not what the Friars want to see, but it's still fourth. So it's okay. So the gap at the front is fairly substantial. So the Hasses are now coming out. There's whole team changes we should probably get into as well because there's been a plenty. I'm actually going to bring up the dock as well so I can actually fully see everything in its flesh because otherwise I have it on my other thing, but it's not big enough screen. I need to see everything and tell you everything on an accurate note. Big up to your AI, GB, man. It's a good AI. It's a great time. GBF1 Kid is still on his not proper lap. I believe Dylan's about to cook up and finish this one. Only half a temp up in his last attempt. And it generally was only half a temp improvement. It's a never 27.5, slightly quicker than before. It's an extension of his lead. It's what you need. But that's all he's got. Okay. You pause on low fuel mode, you override it and go full speed. Right, well that's going to have to be banned. Right, well, what's with the match fixing? This is nuts. Fatch mixing is going on. I'm kidding. I don't know. How can you be the pit entrance and it steers you back out towards the track? I love F1. It's fun. It's a fun time. It's a very, very great time. F1 Kid's also about to hire up a lap. Should we watch this one on board as well? So yeah, teams. let me talk you through the changes that have taken place since then. I think it's probably easier to just tell you who's where rather than say who's moved. Ethan is still in a Ferrari. He's now partnered with Josh, as you've seen. He was in the Alpha Tauri before, which is now the RBs. He ain't there anymore. He's moved around, switched up. Tire Challenger says he wants a big red car, and he's gone for it. The Hassus now have F1 Kid and Dylan in the board. Dylan's obviously back with a full-time seat, so he wasn't anywhere. F1 Kid was in a Red Bull last season, ended up in a Williams for the second half, now hopped in a Haas to try and do a dominant performance with a slidey car for the first sector, but with a pretty damn good teammate. 2 NSL champions in this team, whereas only 1 in Ferrari. Ethan might become 1 soon. I should also say Ethan's not here today, which is why we've got Raul or Washcat in the Ferrari with him. Raul's only reserve, so that makes that sense. But the game's the game on that one. His other ones, Alston might have got Pooch and Aurochs, Williams have got Spuds, and Ron, who are both in here today. Rebels have got Jacob and Ben. Ben is not here, so we've just got Jacob. And Mintblock is reserving instead in his place. Kieran and I think it's Kizzo have only been in McLaren's, but Kizzo is not here, so no teammate for the McLaren today, which is a little bit paid. That looked wide. I don't know if it's just off-board it looks so wide, or if that's actually what it looks like on the car. I looked off the weight at the worst point in time. But the game's the game. And then the other teams, Mercedes, I've got Harry and Ryan, Turbo Snail and Lewis in the Alpine, and then obviously we said the Haas one, so we already got that one. Ron, experiment didn't work. Damn. Rough. Rough times, man. Rough times. I wanted to see that work. That would have been funny. Will F1 Kid's lap get himself a little higher up the board? It overtakes his teammate, but only by a tenth, but a tenth's pretty valuable. 28-2, still 7 tenths off on a singular lap so far. I'm not sure, like, if this was the gap before the patch, so the gap's just everyone's slower by that amount of time, but the gaps are the same. I have no clue. Different inputs, 2 of them on wheel, 1 on controller, so I don't know how much it's affected most people, and I also don't know if just this was always going to happen. But that is a gap! It's what I'm used to seeing every time Dylan turns up and qualifies. Just didn't expect it this time. Didn't expect it. Mimlock in a solid P4, by the way, at the moment. Is very, very good for him. We need to go on board with some other laps that I think are finishing. Is that who we seeing going across the line? Lewis. What time's he going to set to improving? 32.246. Stays in P8. I don't think it's actually shuffled anywhere. But just a bit behind Mr. Spuds and the rest. So there's a bit of a tiered system for now. The gaps are fairly big-ish. Assin already mathematically out of the constructors. If it's a As 1-2, that might be tricky to deal with, as the McLaren is burning its battery going down the line. Can't hasn't seen any onboards yet. We'll give it some loves. And we'll have a see. Is there a new tweet? Oh, we might have to have a little look. We might have to see. Curb usage to the max from Kieran. He paid for the whole curb. He'll be using it. Mercedes on the track ahead of him a little bit. Let's finally stay on board the whole first sector again with an Evercar and see how this goes. How committed can you take it? How much does the curb actually want to finesse you, unsettle your vehicle? The rear of his car is unsettled regardless if it touches a curb or not. And he's just clipped too much on the left, and I feel the pain. I've been there, the wheel shake, letting go of it, whatever, when it goes a tiny bit too wide. That was rough. That was unfortunately rough, but plenty of time to improve and get another proper lap in. But P6 is really not bad position-wise. Time-wise, sure, this might be painful in the race, because obviously you might see your time of like a 29 and realize you are now 1.5 off first. But if you're still 5th when you're doing that, and you know you wasn't going to get challenged first place, then that's good. That's still okay. If you thought he was going to challenge first, that's painful. And you don't want that. Ron is on a wet tyre. I was... Yeah, okay. It was not lying to me. Okay. Alright, that is nuts performance. I think we've got Dylan out on the track as well. Plus a few others guarding their lap up on the end of this final sector. A few people shuffling positions. I don't know if any one of these are actually on a lap penny there. I think it was on an invalid one. I don't think anyone is. Definitely not Ron. I mean, he's going for it. He can probably beat a 218 on the wet, so it could happen. Maybe. Couple guys into the pits. Mr. Spuds, I think, is also coming in as well. Oh, he's low fuel. I was going to say he's full throttle, but he's not moving very quickly. He's low fuel. That'll explain it. Rest of these cars all coming in. They must have all been on their overlaps. Where is this man? This is what I'm here to see. How cooked can Dylan do this first sector? This is now the proof to know if what is possible right now. Ooh, that's a little moment as this game just scares you when it touches a curb. That is curb usage and a half right there. Spain 1-1. Beautiful scenes, I think. I like Spain. Hard to probably beat, but I like that. Half a time of improvement in the first sector again from the Haas. It's going up so far. Dylan West 42 is no longer number 42 in the game. He's now Dylan West 84. Sad times, I've only just remembered that. The amount that this man can stay committed to these lines and curves are things I can't do half the time. It's just nuts. My car, when I do this, isn't allowed to do that on the racetrack. This is crazy. Birthday Human is managing to pull off some blinding driving right now. And he's flying on the track. I didn't see the second sector split, but I believe it's still up. The game said it was purple. We'll find out if it actually ends up still being that by the end of the lap. He's not going to get a tow from anyone. That Mercedes with GB is kind of close, but probably not close enough for anything major at all. Not in the game sense, at least. Maybe real life, sure. As he goes, tries to take the shortest line. Well, he takes A line. Don't even think it was the shortest one. And doesn't improve. Dylan is peaked already. Dylan peaked on lap 1 with half a tenth in it. I'm assuming he lost something somewhere. I'm not sure where it was, because he had half a tenth by the first sector. Second, I'm not sure what he had. Third, he ends up 600ths off. 700ths off his best. So he's lost a small amount of time somewhere. His teammates on the never go and see if he can get a little catch up. I do also believe Josh is on a lap as well. 1.5 tenths up, so he's closing in on a 27 if he can get there. Stay on board with Josh first. Reigning champ deserves some coverage, of course. I'd want some coverage if I'm the reigning champ in the league, to be honest. How committed can a controller player take this curve? Still 1.5 up on the second sector split. Looks equally as committed as Dylan, so lovely scenes. Ron has improved on his wet tyres. And it's set at 134. Not beating a dry lap yet. There's still time, there's still time. Checkered flag is out, which means no more improvements from any of us on the grid. The bottom 5, well, the bottom 6, obviously, are set. Josh, is he going to sneak his way past his former teammate at one point? He does. 28, 165, I should say. Purple sectors from F1 Kid. He's got 3 temps on. Is it really purple? I ain't got a clue. Nice toe and a half. The teammates helping each other out absolutely perfectly. That is wonderful. If that ain't the biggest toe I've seen in a hot second, then I'm confused. I'm moderately confused. Dylan's obviously cashed it in and has done no more. F1 Kid sneaks into 27s and almost overtakes Dylan with the help of his toe. Even with that, he's still a tenth away on a 27.6. But Jesus Christ, that toe must have been monumentally huge. And I think that's game for qualifying. Unless Ron overtakes and manages to beat someone on his wet tyre somehow. He's invalidated. Dylan has got pole position, the first pole of the season. F1 Kid is second place, a tenth behind. Dragged along, but still could be. But that's insane, considering where he was before. Josh P3, Washcat 4th, Min blocking P5 to wrap up the top dogs. Then we got GB a little bit off. Kieran, Mr. Spuds, NTFC, Jacob, Ron, Turbo Snow didn't end up setting a lap, so we had no clue where he would have slipped in, but could have been somewhere in that mix. It's looking semi-two-tiered. I'm enjoying whatever we've got to cook up with. I don't know who had stuff left on the table. I assume many did, many didn't, whatever, but when the cards are on the table, I enjoyed what I saw. That was a great time. Congrats, Dylan, on the pole position on the BEF. That was a good time. Woo! Haas 1-2, Ferrari 3-4. Haas dominating. Have we seen Haas do bits in NSL in previous times? It's time to pull out the archives and try and have a little look. I feel like we've seen something. Let me have a little look and not misquote before I start saying it. Ferrari engines 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I have to hear that on the comms because sometimes it's glitchy and looks weird, but fair enough. Let me have a little look. Officially on the board so you can see the times. As I said, barely a 10 between the two Haas's after some large assistance. I don't know if it was... Either way, the game's a game. It's a time, it's a time. Dylan first, F1 Kid second, and Josh 6 temps back in third. I think everyone felt there was some time in there, so you could see what would happen if everyone was perfect. Washcat, Main Block, GB, Kieran, Mr. Spuds, NTFC, Jacob, Ron, Turbo Snail. That's the grid order. 12 cars fighting for this one. Race strategies are going to take place and happen. We'll find out what happens in a little bit. Spain 2-1. Nice. Go on, Spain. Go on, Spain. I kind of want Spain to... I like Spain. I don't know. It's harder for us to beat, but I'll take it. Why is he sitting on a racing line in wets? Are we saying an incident needs to be sent in? Damn. Call them out, man. Call them out. Stewards are there. Reporting incidents tab in the NSL Discord is there for a reason. Pop it in. Make sure they get shouted at. Whatever. I mean, the game's the game. If you want to have something fairly penalised, etc., you got to do it. It's fine. No one gets picked on. It's like, listen, if you do something wrong, penalise them, whatever you do. Anyways. Should also say, anyone, if you want to ping something from my screen, like you saw me get a good clip of it, do it. I'm not bothered. Everyone gets a chance to it, so There are still live tweets. The qualifying order got pinged in. Damn. And I need to show this one. This one needs to go on the screen before we get the race started. Hang on. This one is important. For anyone who didn't see, the front wheels just a little jacked up just there. If anyone who didn't spot that was what I was referring to when I saw GB's car just doing stuff. Yeah. Anyways, let's go on board in the formation lap in the race and do our thing. That clip will be thrown in Game Reacts. We will be there. NSL clips in Game Reacts now. It's going to be sick. We haven't had them in a hot second. Right. Let me wheel off some smacks. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Race strategies. That's the important thing. Boring, but I do believe it's going to be a one-stop. I believe it's going to be pretty simple of put on one tyre and then put on the other tyre. And it's just depending on which one you want to go for. Medium to hard, hard to medium. Let's see what tyres people have put on. None of the above has been done. Soft tyres are on. For Dylan as well, mixing up on a soft tyre. So I believe some cars might be opening up an opportunity for a two-stop. I think the best would have been a medium soft. But I don't believe it would have been quick to do so unless you just gamble on a safety car happening early. Classes, by the way, are absolutely so close to each other. They didn't want to be this close on the formation lap. Is definitely making sure he gets pushed along. I don't know who's helping who or whatever here. But sure, but they're really racing along compared to this. GB is taking his time. Now, there's no following distance, I don't believe, necessary unless you're like really too far. At that point, then you get penalised by stewards. But I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised the front cars went away so quickly. I feel like this is getting borderline close to like too far, but the front guys set the pace and they are gone. That's a bit nuts. Okay, fair enough. Don't think your intention went to go that slow, but damn. Why were the front people going so quickly? Might have been half that way. I'm not too sure. Anyways, tyre-wise, medium runners I expect to be in around the lap 11 mark. If you're on a hard, 14, 15, you can stretch it, you can work around with that one a little bit. Soft tyre runners, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when. It wasn't planned in the script for them to be on that. So we're going to see a mix-up at the front. Hard tyres starting at the front as well can go long. Safety cars could completely change the game. It could be nice. The Contest, by the way, have had some success in NSL, so I don't need to be rude. They've had a couple wins, but not too many. They're second lowest on the win board in NSL ever. This might be the year they collect some more. Nearest disabled, by the way. Don't know why it was on in the first place. There's 5 lights on the board. They come off. And I get to start immediately with our racing in Jeddah. Let's see what they go for on the first corner. Do they all survive nicely? The Ferrari's got a great start immediately. Dylan keeps the lead. And so far, everyone could have stayed ahead of Josh. Further back, we go side by side between Minblock and GB. I think the rest, though, have got away semi-cleanly. There's side-by-sides all over the gap into turn 1. There's a pinch and a half. There's a Mercedes of GB. I think it's still got its wheels attached. How? I don't know. Runs ahead into the fast section for the first sector. I'm not sure how he stuck that one in, but very nicely done. This so far is looking vintage NSL on a lap. What? Slightly vintage. Turbo's now cooking from the back of the grid. He whacked on a soft tyre. He wanted to go aggressive. Gains some positions as Ron takes a nice move past Jacob. Down the nice little... I'm calling it a hairpin. It's a hairpin. It's just fast hairpin, but it's a hairpin. Game's the game. So position changes are going to be key to look at the start of this lap as we got people going wide. Here's your lot for the start. 5 gain from Turbos now. That is a huge run. Ronlock is going to try and get Mr. Spuds, his teammate, a little switch around. They might be a bit friendly with it because teammates, you don't really need to fight too much. Guess it's not too bad. Side by side! That was a sweet move, but that was close between teammates. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if he wanted to take such a risk. Side by side with some more cars. Wascat Turbos now. And Kieran all vying for it. It's that one. It's that one. The front 3 have settled in about 6 tenths between each other. These guys are going for it to fight who's ahead. As we obviously know, Turbo's on the soft, Kieran's on the medium, and Raul's on the hard tyre, so he's got the slowest tyre out the bunch, but... Still, he might be a quicker driver overall. I have no clue. We don't know. This is the joy of watching and finding out, I guess, or just guessing in your heads. We'll leave them to decide that later on in the mix, but 7 positions gained is nothing short of nuts. I know obviously he's starting at the back due to a mess up in qualifying, but still. It's not easy to gain that many positions and keep your car in one piece, which you might not. You might still have a bit of damage, and if you do that too often, you might visit the wall. but he managed just to keep his car out of it for now. He's losing some battery. He's had to use a lot of that to, I assume, make sure he can gain some plays. But, I mean, if it gains you that much position, it might be worth it. A little bit of a gap between Mint Block and the cars behind. We'll see if Turbosnake can start closing it in before his soft tyres die out. And, more importantly, between the cars ahead of him. The trio has settled into its rhythm. Dylan has managed to well, not really break away. He's kept his lead. I don't know if he was worried about not being able to keep it. So thought, let's go on the soft tyre and make sure I can at least for the first lap or two be safe. Obviously, DRS isn't able immediately, so I mean, it doesn't really protect you for too much longer. No worries, Nova. Hope you enjoy the rest of the evening for now. If I see you in a hot second, I'll see you back then. Thank you, thank you. I need to see the Nova tweet. I will load it up. Mid-race antics will be checking for the tweets at all times, don't worry. We'll be there, we'll be there. Let's see how they go through this part. But yeah, the soft tyres haven't really... I don't know what the game plan was. Was it to run away immediately and break a second of DRS so you don't have to deal with it? Or was it just worries that you wasn't going to stay close to the cars behind? We have some contact further back. We've got Lewis. NCFC has spun around. I think contact was maybe to him in the roughly the Spuds area. I'm not saying it was them, but it was around that P8, P9 sort of position. Not sure who. Either way, they're still fighting between GB and them in the corners. That's a track limit penalty. The first of the season. 3 seconds to Spuds. Hit on his time penalty by the end of the race. He doesn't have to deal with that yet, but it will come for him soon. GB is going to try and now pull away. That makes his way up the pack a little bit. It's pretty splintered, as you can see on the map, so far. The front three have got their own little tail, and Turbosnake has finally caught up to Mint Block, but that took no time. Mint Block's lost a second relative to the front three, but I'm not sure how much Turbosnake gained. He was 1.5 behind when we checked last lap, and now he's here. He's out here. He's cooking. That was a quick turnaround. Not too shabby indeed. We'll see what he goes for. Meanwhile, I think the Hassers might not... this is where we're going to see the games of how much of a teammate are you. It's first round, so no one's got team authority or anything like that, if they ever do. But it's like, do you be nice? Do you just say, okay, let's not fight too hard on overtakes like I think these two are doing. Let's just let each other back quickly, not lose too much time between each cells. We don't want to lose 2 positions. Let's just lose 1, keep swapping around, do the thing. I feel like that's more just it naturally happened, but you're going to find out those scenarios early on, then you can sort of assert dominance, who's going to be the better person in the team, who's going to be the lead, at least in one race, whatever. It's those games have to get figured out at some point. We're going to find them out. Turbosnake has got his way past Mint Block, and this charge is going very nicely. That's the potential of the soft tyre. I mean, he's only total, what, 6 seconds off the front of the grid? 5.2. Considering he starts last, 5.2 off at the front is crazy to only be off by. That is moderately, massively impressive. Not even moderately impressive. Got Lewis in the pits as well at the back. I'm not sure if that's his first stop. Has he stopped already for damage? Sorry, holding back a yawn. He has not. And that was more the spin. Lost him sometimes. So this is his first stop. He isn't pitting for damage. At least not on the front wing. It's just a tyre change. Going early onto the hard tyre. That could take you to the end. It might not be in a nice state, but it probably could still take you there. Maybe, maybe. Ashes are back in it again. There's a position change. Now, I'm wondering if Josh is going to eventually get involved and stop these guys having a friendly scuffle on their ones. Josh might go for a double move. He was looking for it for a second. He gains so much speed. Josh, I know, is a low wing merchant. In other words, to say it politely at least, he likes dropping the wings a little lower than I normally see the rest of them do. At least sometimes. It's a trend. So, straight line speed is on his side. I wouldn't be surprised. As I think Josh was hesitant to make moves so we can have DRS to the next corner, but F1 Kid's like, well, I'll go for it if you're not going to go for it. And that loses them both a tiny bit of time, protects Dylan for a couple more seconds. Let's get on board with F1 Kid as we're watching Josh go past at the moment. F1 Kid going to make it side by side into turn 1. They've got to turn in at some point. Couple love taps on the way. Dylan trying to make his route. Are we seeing the first free wide moment off lap 1? I think we might. F1 Kid into the lead. Josh second, Dylan third. That's the first out between these three. That was nice. Mint Block collecting a 3-second time penalty of their own as well. That's the second of the day between those. These three might deliver some beautiful racing. It seems like I was worried maybe one of these guys would be, or whoever's going to be the lead fighters, is going to be too quick, runs away, and basically you never see them. You don't get the chance of someone to hold them in. Now fight with them long enough that they can't pull away, they can't do something, and then they have to actually deal with this part. And I think that's the case. Don't know if anyone even is the quicker person. I have absolutely no clue. The soft tyres probably ain't helping Dylan's case. He's done a damn good job to keep in touch with all these guys. I don't know if he got the best of them at the start. But it seems like he's using the best of it now to keep close with the rest of the people. Meanwhile, further back, we've got Washcat, who's now down in 9th, closing a couple positions up again. Up ahead of Jacob, overtaking for the midfield. We'll go a little look for the rest, as I believe most of the others are quite far away from each other. They've got some gaps. Turbosnell is now back on the hold of Mintblock. I'm not sure when he got past again. I'm not sure when that happened at all, in fact. We've seen enough change at the top. I'm going to stay on board with this one, because I need to show some love to the midfield. Turbosnell's back in P4. Now we're back with the top 3. It's Josh in the lead. It's F1 Kid in 2nd. It's Dylan in 3rd. The positions, I think, changed for a second and went back to normal. F1 Kid's having a go round the outside, and I think he's going to claim the track position for now, and I feel like I saw something fly off the floor, but I don't know if that was just the floor graphics or the actual front wing. The front wings look intact. Status go again into Sector 1. F1 Kid, Josh, and Dylan. I think that's more the graphics. You see on the floor, if you just, like, hit any wall or something, or, like, the floor grounds out a little bit, the floor looks like it chips up. And it looks like, deceivingly, it's your wing, and it's not. So don't worry about that. That's going to happen a lot. I'm definitely going to call out damage when it's absolutely not happened, but they all seem to have entire front wings intact. We'll see how Josh's handles for this lap. Let's get on board with him. I saw a never track limit, I think I saw. Was I blind to that? I did. Mr. Spud's got one. No, sorry. Mr. Spud's already had one. It is Raul who's got one. 2 more pitting in. And I do believe they were both on medium, so GB and Mr. Spuds in for earlier stops than expected. Onto the hard tyres. Okay, we'll see how that one goes. Hello, guys. Dylan has decided he wants 2nd position, and he's gone and taken it. This track is nice for like the slipstream switcheroo positions, as long as you just don't side by side way too aggressively. I think you can deal with some pretty good racing and afford to do it most of the time. Oh, Dylan. And he's gone for the position. Where's the detection point? It's out of the corner. I'm not sure which one of these two got it in front, but who definitely did was F1 Kid. It wasn't Josh. It was neither. What? One of them should have got it. Did one of them not check? I was on board with Dylan's car and he didn't have the option. So did Josh get it but not expect to have it? Or did they have a glitch when neither of them got it? I'm sure one of them was ahead of the other. Okay, Josh didn't get it either. Neither of them got it because the toggle didn't even go on Dylan's car. The game just said no one's getting it out of you two, only F1 Kid's getting it. Fair enough, he's pulled away and he's got himself into the lead. Game said he's nice. We go again. The gaps are slightly bigger between the 3. They're holding between like 3 tenths of a second as Turbos now gets his own track limit. That's the 4th of the day. It was holding around 3 tenths between these 3. Now I think they're starting to hold up to about half a second. And I'm not as surprised to see that with Dylan's car because of the soft. I'm more surprised that that's happening all over though between these. I think F1 Kid with that DRS play just for a second. That's enough. Gains you a 10 for 2. You can hold out for the first sector, which he looks quite mighty through. Might just be a nice saving grace, but obviously DRS all over this track means you don't really get much time to breathe. You really have to make use of that gap. And it looks like, I think Dylan has made use of getting rid of his. As although they're all catching F1 Kid, I think someone's going to be on the back and ahead. And he's obviously going to get DRS, I hope, from his teammates. So doesn't need to worry about overtaking and playing the DRS chicken. Traction on the exit. Does actually have DRS this time, good to hear, but that traction was painful. I think, obviously, that we're having a GB repeat. I think Dylan's played that well for his strat, because he was always going to be in the down, like, not in the downfall, disadvantage, I should say. I feel like the front two, though, definitely did a great job of making sure he didn't run away. Equally done from both. On the second half of those soft tyres running off, these two could have easily pulled away and they didn't, but from the start of the stint, they could have easily let him pull away and they didn't either. So very, very nicely done from those. Show the rest of the grids. Yeah, why not? Why not, man? Let's show the pits. There you go. We can now watch the rest of the grid, which is still Dylan as he's about to catch Washcat, which is pretty huge, to be fair. How quickly can he get past the lap traffic? Raul has been on these hard tyres since the start of the race, and this is not where you want to have a lapped piece of traffic in your way, as it's snapping around and ghosting. Raul's snapping his car so much mid-corner, he's ghosting through, and he's gone. And he's gone. And he's just absolutely said, nah, the car's had enough. I'm done. I don't know what I've just seen. What have I just seen? I don't know. Well, that posed not much of a disadvantage to Dylan, I guess, like that. I'm aware Raul has not had too much time in the game and doesn't dislike the game at the moment, so I think it's showing. But even when Dylan's away, and we'll have the leader gap for a little bit to see what the pit loss is. well, what could be the pit stops. I think it's estimated about 22 seconds, so not within it just yet to first. GB's got his own 3-second as well through the pack. So yeah, everyone's quite spread out for now. We've got these two semi-close between Lewis and Mr. Spuds at the back of the grid. We'll see if they have some fun between the two. Front two, holding a 4/10th gap. We'll check on board later on at turn... Well, not turn 1, they're going for the first sector. We'll check on board and see if they get close on the next DRS zone, but that's a little away. We've got some time for that one. We've got some time. Hard tyres, I'm wondering if there is damage. I felt like he was going slower than I thought. There is damage on that end plate, and that's after he stopped, so he didn't make any pits for damage on his last run. That was pure tyre. Don't know if he wanted to change for damage, but couldn't, or glitched out and he didn't get to. But either way, that's an end plate missing on one car. We'll have a damage check. I think that's an end plate missing on Mr. Spuds as well. He is. So the back two cars, the Williams and the Alpine, both struggling with some damage from the walls of this track, which can happen. Games again. GB's also one never want to send an early stop. Again, I don't think it was damage related, but either way, he's in some fresh air and cooking. What's his gap to the car ahead? He's got a 16-second. So those cars pit. He's overtaken a fair couple of them. Might have just been a strategy play. I have absolutely no clue. GB has not made the corner in the slightest and gets a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. I don't think you can argue with that one at all. Don't think you can argue with that one. He's gone. He's absolutely gone way too over the line. Little lockup. Little bit of damage. I feel bad because we spotted it on the boards. It's an end plate. That's a snap. We keep accidentally catching cars in the midfield and then watching them unfortunately have an unfortunate error. That's pain. That's pain. It happens. It's a game. The game's the game. That is end plate damage for Jacob as well. I don't think that's when he got it though. I saw him hit a wall, but I think that's completely unrelated. As I think finally they have switched positions at the front. Josh is now ahead. These two, I believe that was the same model as it was before. Was it? I'm not even sure at this point. I've lost my own head. These two have been silently just cooking away, a 10th away from each other. Cooking at the front as Turbo Snail's now into the pits off his soft tyres. That's a good way into the race. Opting for a medium. Is he going soft medium for the rest of this race? That's a bold call. Doable. Don't think it's the best thing to do pace-wise, but I mean, if you can make the soft tyres work, and he gains so much from it, net-wise, this is huge. I mean, net even before everyone else has stopped, he's ahead of where he started by a good distance. He's obviously not aiming to just be ahead of 12, but he's ahead of 12. He's ahead of 12, and his race is done. Turbo Snail is out. His left rear front is spinning in front of us, straight out of the pits. The game's the game. Cheap stops for the front two are going to come through. Cheap stops from everyone. Turbo Snail's race is finito. I can't believe what I've seen. Compliment Turbo Snail's race because it was a good race at this point, and all of a sudden it's just gone badly wrong. The walls have claimed the victim. Now, VSC, how long is it going to last for? Is the question. Gaps to everyone that we're looking out for. Dylan is obviously now way more than a pit away. These front two can get in and get out on a hard tyre if they want it and be cleanly safe. Question is, do they take it? Do they take it? Dylan has been no stranger to a VSC or a safety car cheap stop in his races in NSL. He's seen plenty in his time. So that's paid. Barely touched it yet. This is the Wars doing its business right here. They're all still in. Mintblock and Ron also in as well. I'm not sure how many get ahead of Dylan here. I think that's going to be a fair few though. Let's see where Dylan is out on track. Comes out the final corner. He'd love for it to release him now. Kieran's got to drive through. I think he was just in the pit lane. I'm not sure if it gave him the pit speed thing and let him change speed and it still caught him, or I'm not sure which way round. Dylan's going to get a tiny bit of acceleration. He's going to get past Mintblock. But that's all he's got to his troubles. He is now, after probably having a chance to undercut at least a couple and on an alternate strat. Went on a softer hard, by the way. I didn't even clock that from when he pitted in. Now has a lot of extra work to do and is going to have to show some pace. 3.5 seconds off for the lead. It's not huge. I mean, it is if they're all equal pace, but it's not the biggest gap I was expecting. I thought it was going to be way, way worse. But for Josh and F1 Kid, whew, they've been nice. And they're going to take that and hopefully run for the hills. It now depends on how much these two fight with each other. They play nice. It prolongs the amount of time Dylan has. No, let's read that properly. Prolongs the amount of time these guys have at the front and delays, you know, any chance Dylan has of gaining because these guys are fighting. Which is good for Dylan. Oh, good for these guys, bad for Dylan. Other way around, Dylan wants these guys to fight tooth and nail. I don't know. These two have been tyre rivals before, so... And this is first round, no one's got a singular point to their name. I have no clue how these guys are going to take the battle between each other. Now they know this. You've got two options. Play nice. Sort it out at the end. Don't play nice. Fight now and decide right now who's going to be in the lead by the time Dylan catches. It's basically, do you think Dylan's going to catch? You think he does? Sort it now. It doesn't matter if you wait to the end. If you don't think he does, play nice and fight it later. No one's going to be thinking that. That's only me doing that because I'm on the outside point of view, not driving the car. That's it. Only thing I will say, though, is if you trade DRS nicer, you can still pull away from a car on a quicker tyre behind you. Who isn't even on a quicker tyre because he's got 4-lap old ones. And I thought Josh was going to have a look down the inside to make that too wide there. He doesn't go for it. We'll keep an eye on the gaps, though, but we'll see how these two are fighting. Meanwhile, we've got Ron on the way, closing on mint block. 8 temps back on a medium tyre. Don't count him out to steal a position off the top 3 if he gets a little closer. He's obviously gaining a good amount of time. If he can just get some pace going, he can possibly at least get 4th. Obviously, he's right in front of him, but you never know if a 3rd place is going for it. Jacob has got a speeding penalty in the pit lane of 10 seconds, which actually will be 10 seconds. They finally fixed that. If it says 10 seconds, that's how much you have to stop in the pits for if you go and do another one. Painful times. It's very harsh, but I know that's the default now in this. And Kieran is also in to serve the drive-through, which I'm going to guess from his reaction and from what I think I might have saw, looked on the harsh side, but game's given what it's given. It has done what it's done, and we keep going in. GB and Lewis switching positions. Let's have a little look at that. Oh, on the straight as well. Lewis can have another go back down the inside if he wanted to. He's not too close to doing it, though. Stays where he is at the front. We have a little trade for positions as F1 Kid is now being passed by Josh. And he's burning battery in fairness, so maybe that's half the reason. But I was going to say, how in the world is Dylan catching this quickly? Battery deployment is going to be huge, because obviously you can burn it as you could before, but you can burn it in many different ways. You can save it in many different ways. It's a lot different in this game, and that's one of the things I like to applaud this for. There's a lot of strategy games you can have a little fun with, which is very nice. Side by side at the 10-1 we go. Ron has completely not stayed on the track. No, Minblock, sorry, not stayed on the track. Wrong car. It doesn't matter because he's getting past. I thought it was the other way around. And Ron was trying to cut the corner to keep the pass, but regardless, I think the position sorted itself out nicely, and Ron is ahead of Minblock, who drops the car. Has some damage, but is still going, but that's very detrimental. Ross Rowling has got himself another track limit penalty. Seems like it's a tricky day out here for some cars, making a couple errors on the track, slash just existing in all the normal terms. Dylan, by the way, is already within a second. He's already there. He's there. He's there. He's just turned up, he's burned some battery, and he's good. It didn't really matter what his front two did, apparently. I thought that was going to be a long game till maybe like lap 20 until it's sorted of who actually ends up being in the right position, but these guys have settled back in. Dylan is out here and means business. He ain't waiting about to decide what's going on. The front two, though, do have their entire battery complement to themselves. They're just strategically trading when to use it, when to put overtake on to fight each other. Obviously, they're going to be aware of late game. Don't want to burn it all now if you think you're going to need it later. But if you overthink too much, maybe you save it for nothing, and you don't end up using it at the end. I don't know. It's the beauty of it. The beauty of F1, the beauty of the lobbies. DRS enabled for Josh. What's he going to do on F1 Kid's car? He's going to go and have a little pass into the turn 1. Going to complete the pass absolutely cleanly. And ahead of the Haas. The Haas second and third. Track limits, and again for Lewis, I want to point out, obviously, there's been a lot for the rest of the cars. I wouldn't be surprised if any of these front three are teetering on 1 or 2. And we'll try and get you a good look as Mintbox into the pits to, I assume, repair that damage that he got a little earlier on. Onto whack on a medium or a soft. To the end, okay. Dylan kind of had a medium tyre to use, but he wanted a soft. That's a long way. Not long way, because I think we had Turbo Snow do almost just that, but that's a while. That's a while. Well, I think they're not going to overtake, and hopefully the game doesn't stick me in this menu like it used to in the last year. Warning Central. Josh got 2 warnings back-to-back laps. I know my face comes covering it, but trust me. 2 warnings on lap 1 and lap 2, and has been teetering on the whole time. F1 Kid has none. Dylan has 1. That's the game. That's the gambit for us so far. That is interesting news. Okay, I like the seeing that. So F1 Kid's in the best position with technically how many free hits you can take of pushing slightly too much in a corner and going wide. Not sure if the other drivers really treat it like that or if they just get out of jail free cards, but you get the point. He's got the most he can attempt. Free wider looked like it was going to be a possibility. The Haas decide they're going to keep it behind the Ferrari for now. Little snap on the exit for, I think that was Dylan's car, slots behind his teammate, and they're going to have a go probably together on the Ferrari. And Ferrari chooses to defend the inside, which means both the Hasses are going to pass him because they're going to find a way no matter what. A lock of massive proportions. 3 wide again. Jacob getting a track limit, and still the Hasses are fighting to keep this position. I don't know who's teaming this one. I have no clue, and never look up. Josh has fought very well to get that second place back. If Dylan didn't have the lockup, I think he might have claimed it, but Josh made sure he had to push. And he had to keep his car on the track. He made Dylan pay for that mistake hugely. Josh back in second. F1 Kid running away with 8 temps. These guys have fought a tiny bit for that first sector. Dylan's going to be aware of that and might not want his teammate to run away scot-free. He's also got 3-lap older tyres. They're hard tyres. So they'll be durable, they can all make it to the end, but they're 3-lap older tyres, so like that. If you need any difference, any delta between each other, an amount. Welcome back, Rachel. You're joining us with some action, to say the least, on the track right now, which is good. I like to see that all the time. Hope you've been good. Welcome back into the stream for today. Yeah, this race is heating up. We've got 10 more laps of it. I'm upset we didn't get to see the tyre strap work out the normal way, because it would have been, I think, slightly a different offset. I think it would have timed roughly the same anyways. It's just gaps-wise and everything wise, it would have been a lot different. Lifting to make sure they're behind by the detection point. Technically going wide, and I heard Dylan lock up to make sure he's going back. The DRS games are being played in full force by every single one of these cars at the front of the grid. I love to see it. It's beautiful to watch when you're on board. The Ferrari's gone for the inside. The 2 Hasses once again past Josh. Will they all make the brakes this time? They do. I thought the Ferrari might have tagged the back of F1 Kid there just a slight bit before he braked. Not even too late. I think one of them just braked a tiny bit too early, but when you're that close, it can happen. The order now, Dylan, F1 Kid, and Josh. It's switching around just a hot second. It's not bad. Jacob into the pits again onto some new soft tyres at the back. The gaps between the rest of them are quite large. I mean, Washcat Raul's 12 seconds off the next car. Ron after passing Mintlock and Mintlock getting some damage. 6 seconds away, and I don't think Mr. Spuds, I stand corrected, there's been some carnage. There is a safety car. Mix it all up. It's all switching up now. Status quo looks like it might have happened. It's no longer going to be the case. Sit rep and a half is going to be given to you right now. Everyone's probably going to be pitting for some new tyres. What they pit onto is the question. If you've used 2 mediums, finito, but I think all the top 3 definitely have at least 1 set of medium ready. Dylan has, because he hasn't used any of them so far. I don't believe you have 1. I believe you have 2, so regardless, they all have 1 to go on to. But they're all going to be closed up, which helps up. Those massive gaps means you've got never chance at going at the car ahead of you or behind you. Shame that Mr. Spuds is out, which is pain. I'm not sure what happened in the incident. But still, full safety car is a huge, huge reset. Anyone who gains positions and hadn't pitted yet now is set. Washcat hadn't pitted at all yet. Is now going to be set in 5th and legitimately there. And also, F1 Kid has overtaken under safety. How? Dylan was ahead. Forget what has just happened. Dylan was ahead before this happened. I assumed he was trying to fight somehow to get ahead so one of them didn't get the slow stop. I'm guessing that's what happened. I'm not sure why this has taken place, but he's gone and done that anyways. That's going to put Dylan down a position behind Josh, I'd assume. Okay. But on the other side, he's also got a 10-second penalty for his troubles. And he just gets ahead of the Williams of Ron. I'm confused what happened. Like, there's no way you can pass on a safety car. There's a way you can do it physically, but like, you would never want to. I'd assume you just set that. And I thought maybe it was in the pit lane, because I've seen people try and overtake in the pit lane, but they weren't there yet. This happened at the final corner, nowhere near the pit lane, which is why I'm confused no penalties come through. What has happened at the front between the 2 Hasses? I have no clue. I guess maybe there's a calmer self-serving penalty, which Dylan might be happy about, because he spent into the pit lane F1 Kid, so now he's got 10 seconds on his head top, but what is going on? Tyres is also completely mixed up. F1 Kid's on the soft tyre at the front. He's going aggressive. Probably these 2 at this point now. Josh and Dylan went for the normal medium tyre option for this. Means they can probably push as aggressive as they want. Ron on a soft tyre. Washcat further back on the medium. It's a soft and medium switch between half. It's pretty 50-50. I really want to know what happened between Dylan and F1 Kid. I'm confused. I'm confused how whatever happened without the game auto-penalising something. I don't know if what did... I don't know. I simply don't know. Did F1 Kid, for example, maybe the last corner, push Dylan all the way wide off the track, sort of like Lewis and Max style at 21 Jeddah, So that obviously, because I believe if you force a car off the track, it counts as you can pass them for free. It doesn't penalise you. Did he do that and play a game? I believe the stewards are going to have to look at something if there's clips out there, and I feel like there might be some inquiries, and I will have to have a look. Solomon Ron done late charge. Ron is charging up, mate, to be fair. He's there. He's there in a P4 position, and now he's actually close. If he snips one of the top 3 fighting too much, he can clean that position and maybe hold him up for goods. I don't know how much the pace difference is, but a soft tyre pace difference might just be enough to hold on to that. We'll find out. Very slow getting to the final corner, then it almost caught a front wing or two off the cars. Let's see, late run into the box. Doing a Jude Bellingham type run. Edge of the box, last minute running. I see how it is. F1 kid looks like he's going to claim that 10-second off his car now. He doesn't want to hold on to that one to the end. Gonna pit in again onto a medium time. Maybe he had that in his plan the whole time. Knew he got the penalty, so quickly switched to a soft so he could keep the medium at least brand new for his last run. That's a guess. I have no clue. But forget that. Actually, hang on. 5, 6. It is 10. It is 10. I do really want to know what happened between them. Love lost. There's none. There's none, as we've already seen after round 1. Medium tire on a car for F1 kid. Okay. Puts him down to 6th place. Might be 7th. This is going to be touch and go. Very touch and go between these two. F1 kid gets ahead nicely. He's in 6th place. Okay. Well, I believe we're going to get away in a lap or 2. I'm not sure if it's going to wait too long. We've got Lewis. Since a minute behind us, he has been lapped by a few, so he's not going to end up... Well, that's pretty much his race done in 9th. Jacob is also in that train. It's not his race done, but it's their race done, I should say. They can still fight between each other, but they can't get 8th, for example. GB is now safely away from that, and probably doesn't need to think about anything behind. Unless some crazy circumstance happen that lets those two unlap, which would be crazy. Haven't seen the NSL intro yet. It had to be saved. People liked it, apparently, so I'm taking that. It had to be saved. It was a good day. The VODs will show it, so don't worry. You can have a little look back in a second. Oh, well, not. You can have a look you want to. No. Game's a game. Game's a game. This is a fun race. I don't know what's happening. At all. Hi, spawning in Ethan, by the way. Hi. Good days. No, it happens. Jeddah especially, it's, I mean, yeah. First league race of our season. I don't want to assume it's everyone's first league race, but like first NSL race of the season. First day easy mistakes can happen. I mean, Jeddah is also just... It makes sense. It makes sense. I don't think anyone's been foul of like a little move, little lockup or something weird or crazy on this track. It's definitely happened to most of them on the road. Both, Ethan. It is currently streamed on YouTube, and it is also on Twitch if you want to grab it after that, but they'll be both published in both places. That's a piece of end play that I just saw on the floor. My facecam might have just blocked it. I don't know who that belongs to, but I believe someone might have recently deposited some front wing on the track, and I don't think that's old. So we'll see. We're going to pull with Josh and see when he wants to pull away, and he opts to pull away pretty quickly out the straight. He gives them the whole length to run. Josh is got a 6/10 gap. Dylan is burning his whole battery to make sure he can stay away from Ron in 3rd place. Ron can't make the move. I thought he almost had a chance to. Further back, we've got F1 Kid diving down the inside. Oh, watch that. Raul says, nah, boss, you ain't doing any of that on my racetrack. This battle might be quite fun to watch. We'll see how these two fight each other. F1 Kid wants to try and get himself as close as possible back to the front. He doesn't want to miss out if there's an opportunity going for it. So, he will be on job. 1.9 second gap between Raul and anyone ahead. He clips the curb. He goes too far wide. That's going to be a position lost. It's not done yet because they both went wide. They're both still side by side. It is absolutely not done. Still pulling ahead. Gets the position, but then he doesn't get the position. He claims the inside. Is he going to close the door? He does. Raul's still in P4. It's not done yet. This is cinema. Jacobs retired in the session. He's lost it round the hairpin. And that is a never safety car. We're down to 9. That's a never car down. I don't know if Jacob and Lewis had contact because they're the only two cars on that same lap with each other. So they're the only two people who could have hit each other. I assume they didn't. I think it might have just been a loss on his own. But now we have a never neutralizing safety car. Which now means if anyone's got any other soft tyres, brand new ones left to go, now is the time to be using them. Because, to be fair, do you pit again, is the question. Josh has got a call. Does he think no one's going to pit behind him? So he's like, okay, I stay out because they're all going to stay out. Or do they all pit? It's gamble central right now. 2 safety cars, yes it is. If you include the virtuals, technically 3. But second full safety car. None of the front 3 opt to change their strategies. and go for a late dive in. If you do that, you kind of have to gamble that, like, everyone comes in. Like, if you saw first place not, and then you assume everyone behind's going to pit, then you do it. But it seems no one wanted to take that risk. They was all on their best final strategy. And the person who did was GB, because he has absolutely nothing to lose, because he's the last car on the lead lap. He can't be caught in enough time to be bothered by it. So it was always a free game for him to have a go, and he will have some good tires to attack Kieran and Mintblock with once he catches back on the pack. The only problem is he has to catch back on the pack, which was worsens his tires a tiny bit. But like the guys have used 4 laps, so the game's the game. Definitely not been my day. It happens. It happens. Like, listen, with practice or not, I've been there. I've ruined my race by doing some. I don't even know, like, everything. I've done everything under the sun. I've retired to waffling behind the screen instead of doing it myself. So the game's the game. The game's the game. Always pick yourself up and go for the next race. We've got plenty of racing action and then so to cook with. I know it's not as big as the last 18 race season, but still, there's time to go. There's a lot of rounds, a lot of stuff. Sprint rounds mean there's big points left later. Never too late to do anything you want in this league. Never too late. So now I want to keep an eye on. Well, I mean, where's F1 kid? Because he was the one who overtook a car. I want to see, is he gonna force a car to let him have a position? I really need to know what happened between them. I'm intrigued. But no one did take the hit of going for an Everstop, pitting a brand new soft. The medium runners maybe they want to change their mind and say, okay, I've done my job. I've tried this medium, but now I can go to the aggressive soft as there's absolutely no chance I'll ruin him in time. No one went for it. Safety car's not in on this lap. So this means technically you have one more opportunity if you really want to. If you did it now, you'd lose all your positions. Unless you're at the back. But you technically have one more chance to go for it. And maybe it's worth the hit. I'll have a little watch and see if anyone does take the chance coming into the stops for one last time. No one opts for it. I think maybe Kieran opts for it. Kieran does. So Kieran, I'm guessing, knows the only position he would lose again is 1. Because of Lewis being a lap down, he can't lose that to him. And GB would have done the same to him and had a go. He's reversed the change. I mean, now they're pretty much uneven. Technically, he's on 1 lap better tyres. Game on between Kieran and GB when we return to the start of this one. And game on for Minblock versus everyone behind, as he's got a lot to catch. Although he's still got an advantage over Raul tyre-wise. So does he pass the car ahead in time before the cars behind get a chance to go on him? Cinema is about to take place on the racetrack. Keep an over updated. There's a lot to update on, so I apologise for how much you have to take in type, because stuff is going down. Jesus. Good friend of yours. Good friend. I like that. Solomon Rondon long range on lap 22. Long range is going for a power shot screamer. Steven Gerrard special on lap 1. On a restart, sorry, of this safety car. I mean, he's in P3. And I'll be real, because he's the only person I have ever been mean to. Has no right to be there. But it's in 2 senses. He has a right to be there because he survived and done bits, to be fair, in this race. Just to keep his car in one piece, not be mudded up by some other incident. And he's down on merit. But on pace, he probably knows he's in a weird position. But he's there, so the game's the game. So now he has a chance to have a go and sneak past one of the front 2. The front 2 might be having a chance to, you know, have a massive Titanic battle between each other. But if Ron just says, I'll just take one of the oppositions, how about that? That battle's done. Ron's in 2nd place. Ron could be in 1st place. I have absolutely no clue, but you can't count him out. He's there. He's absolutely there for taking. F1 Kid is also still there as well. He's just got a car between him and the 2 we assume he wants to be challenging with at the most times. Safety car is in this lap. I can shut up with my waffle and we can get back underway. So have a little look. There's a lot of battles are going to take place here. I believe we've got P5 down, well, P5, P6 battle, and then P6 downwards to see who can overtake for those 8 to 10 point marks. And then the front. Who the hell is going to get this win? Who the hell is going to get the podium? Is Ron going to hold on to it? Is Josh going to hold on to it? Reigning champs, 1st, 2nd, and 4th. Well, champs 1st, 2nd, and 4th. Reigning champ in 1st place. Is Josh going to leave it a little bit later this time? He went for a very early getaway before. He's leaving it long time. Almost to the line, and now he goes. And Ron is almost already alongside, so Dylan can't close the door there. He's going to have to keep going, and now he's got his teammate trying it. He's really aggressively trying to close the door into turn 1. He doesn't want to have a chance. It's side by side between the front 2 at turn 1. There's floor being thrown up, and I don't think anyone's got any damage. At the moment, Dylan somehow, after being pressured aggressively from behind, almost makes that an attempt for turn 1 over Josh. That's what's going a little wide. We've got F1 Kids still in P4. Minblock is now on the tail of him with our soft tyres. That's an ever wide moment for Raul. Kieran's got track limit penalties. That's going to harm him. If you have those on the screen, might as well leave them on as everyone's on pretty new tyres. 6 seconds for 5th, 6th and 7th. Kieran, with 3 seconds less, has a great opportunity to just sit behind them and gain all the positions if he can do it. This is huge. F1 Kid now having a go on Ron's car. Can Ron keep it down the inside? He cannot. The front 3 from the earlier stage in the race are back in the same order it was again. Someone's been regenerating some battery mid-corner. Battery update 65, 65, 22 and 57 for the top 4. F1 Kid had to burn a lot, but he's there now. That's the important part. Dylan. No, Dylan forces Josh to go wide, but I thought he was going down the inside. That would have been nuts. Craziness. The outrageousness. Going side by side with Josh. He's just going to go for the position. He doesn't. He sits back and waits. F1 Kid won't wait, though. He won't wait for it. Down the inside goes someone behind there. I think Ron and F1 Kid won't thought about it, but they haven't done it at the moment. Ron is sent it. The long range has come through. He's up into 3rd. And now they're switching again. And now Dylan is trying to overtake on Josh. Into turn 1 we go. They've touched wheels on the way in. Tried to close the angle and couldn't because Josh was still there. Is there an end plate missing off Dylan's car? I can't tell. There is not. No, there is. That is definitely an end plate missing. That is absolutely a right end plate missing off Dylan's car. This is spiced it up massively. And he's going to feel the pain the most right here and right now. That's going to be huge for anyone else behind. And I thought he's just got himself the position. But now officially he's got himself some lack of pace and damage. Under the safety cars when he got it. Damn, Fabrizio Dende scooping up all the news as always. As always, followed Fabrizio Dende on Twitter. It's the prime account. We've got to do it. Top 3. Heating up right now. Heating up on highest orders. This is nuts and crazy. I can't tell where this is going. Ron's still here, by the way. Ron is absolutely still here and sat in the job. And Raul is still there as well. Or got track limit penalties to his name. Ron could just completely throw a spanner in the works and say, you know what? You guys are all going to chicken with DRS. I'll have a go. I'll have a go. Almost saw F1 Kid get clipped by Josh there for a second. Ron has the... why does it say safety car on the top left still? Okay. Ron has the opportunity, that's glitched, to have a little go and make a huge opportunity. Look at the DRS games getting played. The slowing into this section, trying to bait someone into making an overtake. Oh, that was close. There was contact, but they're still staying. We'll stay on poor Ron because he's the underdog in this situation right now in terms of pace. But, I mean, he's got the best tyre for the job. Now we've got F4 Kid over into the lead. This is lap 24, the penultimate of the race. Currently, Dylan's still trying to send it back. They've got to be careful that Josh doesn't find a gap to sneak through the pair of them. It's Dylan, still. And then it's F1 Kid and Josh. How in the hell? All of these, by the way, are still here. We've still got... Minmo's dropped a little bit, but he's at the back of this train. Then we've got Raul. Then we've got GB. GB is in P5 on the track. How has he managed this? This is impressive scenes. And again, Kieran, although he's dropped 3 seconds, so he's not going to gain as many positions as I thought he could have, as there's Josh going to have a go on F1 Kid. Is it set in stone, though? I don't think either of them are going to yield just yet. They're going to squeeze us all the way to the wall. And even though that gap's small and the envelope's not big, I still think F1 Kid might send it down the inside, and yes, he has. Josh is still going to try and claim some track, and he has done it, so this is not done. 4 attempts of a second gap, though. That might be safe. Hello, Ron in the Williams. There's contact between something over there. I don't know what it was. F1 Kid's defending for his life. Ron's lifted. This is craziness on lap 24 on the fake safety car on the top left. Battery update again. 43, 64, 34, and 68. The big battery gain is... Forget the big battery gain, as Josh might go for the lead. Josh has been given the lead into the final corner. What is happening behind me? I don't know. That is a hit in the wall. Lap 25 is about to proceed here and now, right in this business. Josh defends the inside. Dylan goes for the outside. F1 Kid's going to go for the inside as well. Will he stop his car in time? Into turn 1. Dylan's ahead. Keeps himself on the track. Then F1 Kid. Then Josh. Ron's still about. The Ferrari and the Red Bull are still fighting back there. What is going on? I don't understand. I don't get it. I just don't understand what this is going on. This is a titanic little ending. Battery is still in the hands of the two Hasses ahead. There's still damage on Dylan's car, but he's holding on as if he doesn't have it. Slipstream on the final couple straights might be crazy. Chat, Sit back and relax in the traffic. Ron is still there. Ron is local. Gameplay thank you for the follow, by the way. Welcome in. You're watching a Titanic ending to NSL right here, right now. This is, sit back and relax for this next 30, 40 seconds. Not any of these can win this race. I won't lie. Any of these. Ron can still win this race if he gets himself moving and passes all these cars while they fight and scuffle. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that this is open between 4 cars. 2.5 tenth gap. Is Josh going to fight this now to get in second, or is he going to wait a little bit longer? They've waited to the final straight of the back of the lap. They've got one more DRS on the main straight, but this is probably one of the biggest opportunities. Dylan is burning his battery for his life. He'll have DRS on the next run. He sorts behind his teammate. Dylan has a little look at the attempt, but he can't stick it. F1 Kid looks like he's taking the lead of the race. It's a race to the line for second place. The checker flag is out, and I think Dylan has done it. F1 Kid's in first place by 3 tenths. Time the DRS slipstream to perfection. Then Dylan, by a 100th of a second, beats Josh. The 2-all title run was going in again, but F1 Kid comes out on top. Ron in P4 almost could have snatched off any of them. Jesus Christ, that is a race won for the seeds. That is a race won for the books. After the safety car weirdness between overtaking between cars, the VSCs, the next safety cars, everything went down. We saw greatness, huh? We saw the greatness on the racetrack. Let me show you the racing on the board with the standings provisionally. I don't know. We'll deal with that. We'll deal with that later. That's for the stewards to do with. But right now, we've seen a great battle. Leading the championship after round 1, officially, right now, provisionally officially, those words, is F1 Kids. 25 points his name. What an ending that was. I don't know who is the quickest at the moment, but either way, it's not enough to make it not a Titanic battle if they're still all next to each other on the track. Dylan in second place, 3 attempts back, and then a 100th back is Josh in third position. Those 3 are going to have a nice fun. And Ron was there. Ron was there. I wonder how much effort Ron had to put into that, because he was there after some craziness, but had to drive, like, on his life, man. That's crazy. Rowlick in P5. Then we've got GB in 6th place. Minblock in 7th for the fastest lap, so that's an extra point. They're up to 7 on that one. Kieran in 8th. Then we've got Lewis in 9th. And Jacob still gets classified with a point in 10th, I believe. The game still gave him a point, so the game's the game. Spurton, obviously, Turbo Snell and Jacob did end up DNFing, though. But that is your order. That's your lot. That is some fun. Ooh, that was some vibes. That was some vibes. I need answers. I need questions. I need to know what was happening. If you've just seen that, by the way, and you're interested in hopping in, look no further than these buttons on my stream deck. You can't see them, but have a look at this part. Get in the season. Get in this league. Did you not see that unfold? I need to be involved. Exclamation mark NSL in the Twitch chat. If you're watching on the YouTube pod, go scroll down in the description. It's there. Click it. Join. Rules and stuff are explained. How to sign up are in there. Get involved. It's cinema. It's there. We'll be watching this every Tuesday. We will be there. But I need to talk about what's just happened. What just happened? What actually just happened? That was seeds. That was amazing. Shout out to everyone doing the race, by the way. Congrats to F1 Kid. Josh. No, Dylan. Then Josh. And the rest. That was fun. What's your thoughts on lap cars not getting out of the way after a safety car? I don't mind because ghosting, solely. I have never enforced a rule to say, like, force your way off the track to let him through. And ghosting normally takes a good enough care of it, so I normally just leave it be. But, I mean, if it's something you want to send for the stewards to have a little clarification, go for it. But my main game is normally ghosting takes care of it. Normally it does. Normally. For also info, calendar, so you guys can see. We're next going to Japan. Suzuka's a beautiful track. I don't know how much it's going to go with slipstream-wise because there's only one DRS on, and there's a lot of twists. There's similar corners, but no safety net of a DRS to help you. Maybe strategy might come more into play. That'll be next week. We'll see how that one goes. Where can I file an incident report? Pooch, you can do it, but who are you reporting? Report incidents times in the NSL Discord. Go in there, make your tickets if you got stuff to waffle and complain about, which is fine. I don't want to make it sound bad. Absolutely do it. That's what we do for. We make sure the league's clean and good and all that good stuff. Ooh, that was fun. You're gonna fly to Japan? I'll go there. I'll host it. Why not? Why not? 2 clips to send you? Go for it. Entertaining clips, by the way. Post them in game reacts. Please do. Because if I see any that are elite, could feature in a special feature the next season. Next week. Trust me. Entertaining clips, put them in game reacts in my main server, !Discord. Clips to be reviewed by stewards, NSL Discord, reporting incidents tab, make a ticket, post them in there. If it's both, if it's entertaining and a string, put them in both. If you want, that's allowed, that's allowed. Never pays to win, but Slipstream is crazy. Slipstream in this game is crazy. Because I fought several times, several people looked like they had the pace to pull away and run away. And then the toes said no. It said, nah, you are staying here with me, with DRS. That, for racing, that looks amazing. I don't know how it's going to go with the other tracks when there's not as much DRS to help and you've still got Slipstream, but yeah, I feel like it will still work the same. Battery is going to be more key, where you're going to have to force to burn all of it and keep that going, but it might not last the whole race. It's going to be fun. That was nice. That was nice. As you can see anyway, anyone's car was because of the ghosting car. I've tried doing ghosting off, for, which obviously would make it a tiny bit better, but no. No. It breaks the game even worse because people can't be trusted. I one day want to, but it can't. Maybe we look into it something, but yeah, ghosting off for them now will not be happening ever again until I trust everyone implicitly. Which one? Thank you, Rachel, by the way. I appreciate that. That's quite fun. Didn't expect to have fun watching Nange be a sports commentator. I try to be serious. 2% of my job. That was fun. That was fun. But yeah, make sure you're there for the next week. As I said, calendar and whack it back on the screen one more time. That was a great time. Japan, Tuesday, 8 PM UK time. Translate that to wherever you are in the world, time zones and that, of course. Might be more cinema. There might be more action between the same people we've seen before. More people might be joining. And then boom. We end up seeing even more carnage and chaos. I don't know. But be there, be square. That's going to be an amazing time. Amazing.